Welcome to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast. This is a call to action to live above limitations that try to disrupt your peace, interrupt your joy, and also disrupt the access to your best life. You see that fumble there as you feel that I'm not your normal star host. Miss Latasha is actually out speaking and being great, but this is your COO, Chaz Bailey, the creator of opportunities. But today, I'm joined by one of my special hosts, a good friend. If you say the word average black man, sometimes, some people may feel some kind of way. But Mr. Cody Langston, which is my good friend, is going to be on the show today, a.k.a. the average black man. How you doing today, Cody?
I'm doing all right, man. I really appreciate you inviting me to be a part of this podcast, man. I've been listening for a while. And I really enjoy it, and I'd like to contribute what I can to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So where can they find you, Cody?
They can find me at www.averageblackman.com. That's where I have all my blogs. I have blogs pertaining to, mentoring, raising my son, just being an average black man in America. But whenever I say average black man, I mean the average black man is above average. So that means we're average, but we're actually above average. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely understand. So something he alluded to today, if you're watching, you definitely see the shirts we have on. We're both a part of the Emerging 100, which is an auxiliary of the 100 Black Men of America. And we both serve on the mentoring side of the nonprofit. So, and this is what this show today is about. It's about the power of mentorship. And so Mr. Cody here, besides being the average black man, he's also the mentoring chair for the organization. And since I came on, I've been a part of it, been with them.
Absolutely.
We've done some great things in the city.
Yeah.
And so why not a show about it? So this is why we have our show today, the power of mentorship. But as we always do when we get started with the show, we're going to start with our gratitude. So, Cody, what are you grateful for today or this week?
What am I grateful for this week or today? I say I'm grateful for my family, my wife, and I have a 4-year-old son. His name is Cody Jr.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm grateful for them because they challenge me to be the best that I can every single day. For example, my wife told me it was just yesterday. She said that when she took my little man to daycare, she tried to open the door and he stopped her and opened up the door himself. And said, "No, I got it, Mom." She said it was real heavy, and so he was kind of fumbling with it. But, he did that for her. And he also asked how soon is Mother's Day coming up. And she said, it's in May. And she said, "Why?" He said, "Because I want to take care of you just like Dad does." And so she told me, little do I know, the things that I do actually affects him more than I can actually imagine. And that's what I hope for. When I bring him to our sessions and things like that, man, I like to expose him to young black males being what we should be and beyond, you know what I mean?
That's
so
amazing.
I want to set that platform for him as he gets older.
Yeah, and I love it. I love seeing the sight of them. And usually when you see those two, they got the same haircut. So people were asking what happened to his hair. He had a little, what was it, like a mohawk thing going?
We had it growing out to where we had like the braids on the top.
Yeah.
And it was like skint sides, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
we
were at the barbershop, and little man saw somebody get like a smooth, all even. And he looked at me. He said, "Dad, I want to cut my hair." I said, "Man, we've been growing it for what, at least about a year and a half."
Yeah.
"Now I want to cut it, Dad." I said, "All right, you can cut yours." I put some time in mine, so I really don't want to cut it. He said, "But you have to cut yours too." I was like, "Come on, man."
See?
But we both ended up getting it cut.
Yeah, they don't call him Cody Jr. for nothing. They do things together, and I think that's awesome. So my gratitude moment for the week, I had one, but it just changed. I'm actually grateful for great examples such as Cody, great fatherhood, because sometimes, it's not presented. And so I want to say thank you for what you do. Because I haven't made it to the opportunity to be a father yet, but I have a father and you are a father. So seeing those great examples, and shout outs to all the great fathers out there, because that doesn't do anything but bring joy to your heart. So
absolutely, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
So thank you for bringing him around, and hopefully he'll be able to say the same thing when he becomes a father.
That's the
and
goal.
Keep the tradition going.
That's the goal, man.
All right, so let's dive into the show. So the show today is the power of mentorship. So like I said, I got my mentoring chair right with me. And so we're going to discuss what is the power of mentorship. So when you think about mentoring, when you think about having a mentor, what comes to mind for me is someone that can help lead and guide based on their experiences. And what we do, we help the youth. We help the young men grow to be aspiring to be like Cody. To be more than the average black man, but also just to be great citizens and great people. But in our lives, it's powerful because having a mentor is something that says you're not doing it alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And with a mentor, you have somebody that's along the journey with you, but you also have somebody that's not going to be judgmental to your situation. So you have somebody that can actually get and look at you where you are. They don't judge you for where you are. They see where you are, and they try to help you get to what your ultimate goal is. They don't set the goals for you. You let them know what your goals are, and they help you accomplish those.
Exactly. And that's what a mentor is, clear as day. So here are the key things that Cody just said. Non-judgmental.
Right.
So on your journey, no matter what it is, whether you're in college, whether you're in professional world, whether you just have your personal goals in your personal life and your personal development, having someone on your team that's non-judgmental, that's been or succeeded past where you want to go.
Right.
And so that person's allowed to pour into you.
Absolutely.
That person's allowed to guide you and do so as a friend.
Absolutely.
And also hold you accountable, I would say. That's important.
They need to.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yep.
And so what comes to mind, the work that we do with the youth is that we have teenagers. We have all ages, because today we were mentoring young children.
And that was a first. Like, we've never necessarily mentored anybody that was under 6th grade. So this was a first. So it was totally different.
It was totally different, but mentoring can happen at any age.
Absolutely.
And so understanding that when you hear about finding a mentor, it's not simply just the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. If you have aspirations to do anything you want to do, connect with someone.
Right.
There's networking opportunities. It's ways you can do that to help elevate you, to help you be the person you want to be. You want to find a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
You want to find one, because that puts less work on you.
Definitely.
It puts why work is hard to do something someone already did just as much work to get there.
Absolutely.
And so I think solely that a mentor is a must if you want to go to the next level.
Mentor is a must if you want to make it to the next level. And it's comforting because you have not only a friend, but an accountability partner.
Yes.
And you also have somebody that's, like you said, has possibly been through something similar, at least, of what you're going through or might, be faced with in the future. And so they can kind of help you navigate the road that they might have been down already.
Exactly. Because when we say find a mentor, that doesn't mean just find a random person.
Right.
You have to understand what is good for you.
Absolutely.
What do you require? So because you're going to have to meet this person halfway, because this person is going to keep you accountable, and this person is going to meet you based on their experiences. So you have to gel in some type of way. So when we say find a mentor, we don't want to just say get any random person. Get someone that gels with you.
Yes. And I'd like to look at it from a mentor level onto the mentee. In order to be a mentor, you need to make sure you're consistent with that person, because you could have a relationship with them and say you just lose contact with them, and then a couple of months later you talk back with them. You don't have that same rapport that you had whenever you were keeping consistent contact with them. So it's imperative that the mentor and the mentee engage in conversation, activities on the norm, because you can actually fall out of mentorship, if that makes any sense.
Exactly, because consistency is the key. So think about your friends. If you have a best friend and you don't talk for a year at a time, is that truly your best friend?
It might be a friend.
It may be a friend.
Yeah, but it's not the best, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So when mentors come along, this is someone that you want to be in routine contact with. So if you're on the hunt to find a mentor, whether it's personally or professionally, have someone that you're willing to connect with.
Yes.
Often.
Absolutely.
Often. I would say get a check-in partner.
Absolutely.
Not just accountability, but let me check in with you. Is there anyone, or do you have any mentor stories that allow you to be the person you are?
As far as me being the mentor or the mentee?
Both. Let's go both.
As far as being the mentor, yes, I have a guy. After I graduated the Fort Valley State University in 2009, after I did that upcoming summer, I had a good friend of mine. He served as a mentor to me. His name was Nick Brown. and he had me come to Marshallville area.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Marshallville. Yeah. So I actually went out there, and it was with the at-risk youth, and I don't like using that term, but that just is what it is. You know, they say they're at risk for a lot of difficulties throughout their life, and so it could be true. I didn't think it was in this particular kid that I touched his heart, but we ended up developing a relationship, kept that relationship even when I moved out here to Texas and started working. He graduated high school, went to the military. He went out to Cali. He was a Marine.
Oh, wow.
Did great, man. He keep in contact. We talk probably a couple of times a year. It wasn't as often as, you know, we would have liked. But he actually got out earlier this year. He gave me a call. And he said, yeah, Cody, man, you're out there in Houston area. I was like, yeah. And so he said, me and my fiance. He said, fiance. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So he said, we're coming through. We're headed back to Georgia. He said, can we stop through? I said, yeah, man, come through. He came through, met my wife. My wife was talking with his fiance and everything, and he was talking about just how our relationship meant a lot to him and things that I didn't even really know, because this isn't things that we actually talked about. He spoke about it at that time, and I was like, man, I really had an influence in this guy's life by just really caring. You know what I mean? And so he's definitely on the right track, beyond the right track. I mean, he's well into what he's going to actually be doing. He's going back to school, of course, the GI Bill and everything. Yeah. And he has a family, and they're expecting as well, man.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful, man. But yeah, that was one of my best experiences as a mentor so far. But that was
continues to grow.
Right.
It continues to grow. And the reason why I wanted to ask that question, because and it helps me with what I'm thinking, that mentorship can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And so just by having conversations and working consistently in the past allowed, when this time took place, when it came back together, it seemed like it never missed a point. And you inspired someone when you weren't around.
Right.
And conversely, it's like reversed. They inspire you and don't even know it.
They inspired me to go 110% instead of 100% when it comes to mentoring. That's why I'm so inspired, and that's why I do what I do, man. That's why I try to lead our organization as far as the mentoring committee.
Yeah.
I push everybody, man, to do the best they can.
And he's not lying. I'm on that committee.
Hey, man, we gotta help be the change that we want to see in the world, man.
Exactly.
So that starts with our youth, man.
Exactly. So with that, understanding that mentorship has two sides. You can always be the mentee,
right?
Trying to go to the next phase in your life, or just trying to have an accountability partner that keeps you on par. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this person has to be a CEO or COO as me, but it can be just your neighbor.
Right.
And that person that has experienced something has always some input to give. One thing Latasha says on the show all the time is that your story is not just for you. So in terms of mentorship, that's what happens. I was able to go down this road. You guys met in college, so you can speak about taking a test. Yeah, I had this teacher. You want to approach this way. That's mentorship. And so on the other side, when we become a mentor, I think that's a responsibility we have to do as well.
Oh, 100%.
We have to be able to give back, because we can't just be in a give type of world and not expect to give back. And you always have to pull up behind you.
Yes.
And so in terms of being a mentor, that's the evolution from having a mentor.
Absolutely.
Being able to help someone beside you, help someone come up, as your story did. Simply, me and Cody worked together on the mentoring committee, and words never said, but I'm inspired as well. I'm inspired from hearing his family story, hearing the tradition set in stone from his family with college, how you have the amplitude to go forth despite whatever's going on, Hurricane Harvey. You can be at home just protecting your family, but you understand that it takes a village, that mentality, and like you said, be the change you want to see in the world. Because often I think, especially when we work with as they say, quote unquote, at-risk youth, or I would say developing youth that need guidance by others that were developed at one point.
Absolutely.
When we working with people of that nature, a lot of times they just need someone. And a lot of times on the other side, you hear negative comments on who these children are, what they doing. They're not this, they're not that.
Yeah.
But what are you doing to help out?
Right. They don't. And a lot of times people would like to tell those children what they shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be going out. You shouldn't be doing this and that, but they don't give them an alternative.
Exactly.
So what do you expect for them to do? So it's kind of like they're still going to do what they're doing until you give them an opportunity to do better or do other things.
And that's the point of empowerment. And so though we work with youth, that actually transcends into your adulthood. Because if you work at any institution, if you work at any corporate office, if someone doesn't take you with them, how are you going to get somewhere that you've never been before?
Exactly.
If someone doesn't introduce you to certain people, you may be left alone a lot of times and not sure of the direction. So that guidance is always needed in personal and professional worlds. And I think that's important. One thing I would always say is, besides finding a mentor, is definitely be one, because someone needs you somewhere.
Absolutely.
Someone needs you somewhere. So I would say definitely be a mentor. And that's virtually it.
Yeah.
But it's powerful. It's small. It seems so small, but it's so powerful.
Right.
It's so powerful because if you don't have someone, a lot of times you open yourself to make some of the same mistakes someone else did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one thing that I always lived by was that if something for you is easy in life, it's because it was a struggle for someone before you. And so thinking about that phrase, that means my mother had to hustle or had to have blood, sweat, and tears for something to be easy.
Yeah.
Or that person you may have never met. Especially, we come from HBCUs.
Yeah.
We understand the story behind those.
Absolutely.
And the hard work that it took. And what that does is build the next person up, the next generation up to be even better.
It empowers us because once you know what your ancestors or anybody before you has done to get you to where you are, for me personally, it makes me go even harder because I know what I'm doing is going to benefit the next generation, and the next generation directly in my family is my son.
Yeah.
And he's my namesake. So I'm going in overtime, man.
And that's what I think wholeheartedly, that's what we should do for not only our family, but anything that we're passionate about. So because it's one thing, when you become a mentor, you have your own mentoring lane. Like, I probably won't be a good mentor for a surgeon because I'm not a surgeon.
Exactly.
But I have been to these arenas.
Yeah.
I have been to this institution. So I can provide some guidance. And sometimes your mentoring has a ceiling.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can outgrow your mentor. And then that doesn't mean you're done with mentors.
No. That means you might need an additional mentor that might be able to take you to the next level. You know what I mean? Because that person might have, like you said, you might have outgrown that mentor, but the next person, you might outgrow them as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you might consequently end up mentoring those people that mentored you.
Yes.
There's a such thing as peer-to-peer mentoring.
Yes, it is.
And so that can happen. That happens with both of us as well. Like you say, I inspire you. You inspire me, man. The relationship you have with your wife, the businesses that y'all are doing, what y'all are doing in the community is beautiful, man. I love it. It inspires me to want to do something like that with my wife as well. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's real talk, though.
Yeah, and that's what mentorship is. It's reciprocal on all levels. It touches each and every person that comes around with me. And sometimes if my level gets to a certain point where this is all I got for you, Cody.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you stop.
Yeah.
Because this is your life.
Yeah.
And you have attributes that make you the person who you are.
Absolutely.
And you want to make that happen. Like you said, you want it to be easier for little Cody.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what we do it for. And that's why we love being your mentors here at the Lifted Lifestyle. That's why Cody loves being the mentor he is for not only his son, but the several sons of the Houston area. So do I. So that leads me to our call to action this week. So the call to action I have for you all this week is, if you don't have a mentor, take time and find one. Find someone in your field that you can get a genuine relationship with, that you can allow to be accountable for you, and that will help you grow to the next area of your life. And also, I would say, if you already have a mentor, reach out to him if you haven't. Have that connection, have those conversations, and keep that connection strong, because any area of your life is always better to have someone that can share their experience with you. And so I think that wholeheartedly. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I definitely agree. I feel that everybody should actually have a mentor, and I don't know whether everybody should be a mentor.
Okay.
That's if it's not on your heart to be a mentor, because we have guys in our organization that don't particularly want to be mentors. And if you force somebody to be a mentor, it becomes a job,
Yeah.
not something that you're doing out of the goodness of your heart. And mentoring shouldn't be a job. Mentoring should definitely be a hobby, something that you're heavily invested in outside of your normal to-do list.
No, that's an amazing point. So highlight that if it feels like a job, that's when it's no longer mentoring.
Right.
Because it does come from the kindness of your heart.
Right.
It's just that due diligence you have based on your own soul, your own spirit,
Correct.
your own energy for empowering others. So that's definitely a good point to leave off on. Don't forget that if you're not into it, don't force it, because only thing that happens is you become hurt, and that person you're mentoring to doesn't get the best that they could. So definitely keep that in mind. So I thank you for that.
Absolutely,
that.
brother. Absolutely.
So as usual, what we're going to do now, we're going to get into our good news story of the week. The good news story this week comes out of Philadelphia. In terms of speaking of mentorship, the change you want to see. This is actually about a young girl who is 7 years old who has become a licensed certified barber because she saw the kids in her community needed haircuts.
That was her reasoning?
Yes, that was her reasoning. And so she actually became a certified licensed barber to help the children in her neighborhood. And so that was inspired to me, just seeing that at that young age. As we said, that is no limit to what you can do on either side, being a mentor or a mentee, but seeing the change, seeing a need and going after that need.
My thing is, you never know who inspired her to do that.
Exactly.
Because it had to be somebody that she saw that actually cared about other people.
Yeah.
And so she felt that naturally. And so she went out in the community and saw the needs, and she had an answer
made
for
it happen.
her. Yeah.
Made it happen. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's dope.
That is amazing.
That's dope, yeah.
So shout outs to her and all she's doing. And she's offering them for free. So,
wow.
It's so much that we can do. And
where is this at?
That's in Philadelphia.
Do we have we don't have an emerging chapter out
we
there.
might need to get one.
Yeah, we need to see what's going on, man.
Because
wow.
that is awesome. So definitely want to commend her for what she's doing in the city of Philly. And so now as the show winds down, Cody, you want to definitely touch base and say where you're located again to make sure they can reach out to you. I know where you are, but
right.
The world needs to know as well.
Right. Of course, you can always reach me at averageblackman.com. That's where my blogs are. I have a good amount of blogs up there. I just put up one yesterday, and it was an affectionate black man or black father, okay. And I was showing, how showing affection towards your child, the stigma against, black men not really being affectionate, how we need to break that. And so I had a pretty lengthy blog. I had a good friend of mine. She studies psychology, Ashley Stone. She actually tapped in and let me know what she thought about it as well. So that was awesome. A great blog. Yeah. So if you can check out averageblackman.com,
yeah,
you would you'll find a couple of funny stories too, because I have a lot of things with my little man.
Yeah, we see you right here. We got you up on.
Yeah,
the screen,
yeah. I did a couple of them that were personal, but the majority of them are with my son.
And that's amazing, and that's a form of mentorship. Just from reading that,
absolutely.
Because as I said, I'm not a father yet, and hope to be, and that information is definitely valuable. So
right.
I thank you for what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
And then to close out, we want to tell you what the Lifted Lifestyle is doing in terms of mentorship. We were able to get our business going and coaching and helping the world as we see fit. And so right now we have on sale, as my wife let you all know last time, is our Excellence in Entrepreneurship program. Wow. And so this program is a dedicated program to help you grow in terms of entrepreneurship. So you get access to a 4-week telecourse, access to customizable resources dedicated to you and your business. You're going to get access to a network of other entrepreneurs and much more. So definitely check that out. And right now it's operating at the sale price of $125 for 4 weeks. So definitely check that out, liftedlifestyle.com. You can always find me at the Creative Opportunities on Instagram, at Chaz Bailey on Twitter. The Lifted Lifestyle is located at Love the Lifted on Twitter and The Lifted Lifestyle on Instagram. So as always, definitely check us out. Comment, like, subscribe to the podcast. Whatever you need from us, please comment, let us know so we can be better, deliver the content that you need, and have the guests that you need.
Right. And I've done 2 podcasts. One with my wife. It was Above Love.
See?
And but we kind of slacked off on that because Jasmine, she got a big promotion at work, so she's been extremely busy with that. So we hadn't been able to record.
And I'm tuned into that as well. Like, so if you need that genuine conversation between man and wife, they're really good. Check out the Above Love podcast.
And I have another podcast that I do with my buddies. Man, this is a lot more lighthearted.
Okay,
it's called the MVP. Man's View podcast. If you look it up just like that on Google or on Apple, it's a bunch of my buddies, man. We get together each week and we discuss topics. We discuss politics. We discuss hip hop.
Yeah.
We have questions about our relationships and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a virtual man cave.
No, that's cool. And you know, sometimes you need to get to a man cave.
Yeah.
Whether physically or virtually.
And
so,
see, I tell my wife not to listen to that one because that's
you,
me and the fellas.
See,
it has nothing to do with you.
So everyone check out the Above Love podcast.
Right.
You're gonna get in trouble. She gonna run in here. And mine gonna get me too.
Check out the MVP Man's View podcast as well. The wife listens to it every now and then, and she'll kind of chuckle a little bit at the stuff that I say because I might be a bit hyperbolic whenever I try to stick my chest out on stuff. But you know how that is.
Yeah, she gonna deflate you soon.
She does. But on the podcast, it sounds good though.
It does.
Right.
So that's a form of mentorship. Understand when you at home, you at home.
Yeah.
So thank you all for checking us out this week, and as always, live lifted.